All right, guys, welcome in. Welcome in. I know everybody's out here. He's late.
Nah, this time it was my fault, guys.
I wasn't even gonna go there, man. I was gonna take the fall because I'm usually
Nah,
late anyway. So
can't do that.
it's
Can't do
nothing.
that.
It's nothing out of the ordinary, man. I'm always late, so it is what it is, guys. It's not a KB stream if I'm not having technical difficulties or if I'm late. So it is what it is, guys. I gotta learn how to be more efficient. But welcome to another edition of the Young Guns podcast. I'm excited for this one. Later on, we'll have Chris the Entertainer talking sports hopping on here. He's doing, I believe, a members only stream. So when he gets finished with that, I'm sure he'll rest up a little bit, get hydrated, and then he said he will meet me on the stream here. I gotta send the link. That would be smart. That would be a real smart thing to do. There we go.
Shout out to everybody in the chat.
But shout out to everybody in the chat. Yeah, I appreciate everybody coming in here, man. We don't have huge news to talk about, so I guess we'll talk about the stuff that's going on in the NFL right now, Giants related and NFL related, and then we'll kind of kick it to you guys, questions and answers. We really get a good time out of these podcasts and out of these lives when you guys ask the questions, and it's been fun that way as well. So.
Yeah, man. Shout out to everybody in here. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to everybody.
Sean.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. My bad. I was just like,
yeah.
King Sean, bro. Christopher, Evan, Marley, Sunday. What's up, Sunday? Edward, you need to add some more mods, bro. You definitely need to add some more mods.
I gave like 4 more new ones.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even see if they're mods on StreamYard.
I'm looking right now. The only mod in the chat right now is Edward Chan.
Yeah. I just see it right now. King Sean, can I do it right here?
Can you?
Right here. I'm on the YouTube stream now.
Yeah.
So King Sean's in every single one of my streams. Logan's in every single one of my streams. Moderator, boom. Sunday automatically.
Sunday's plugging everything.
Yeah, Sunday's a little new to the channel, but the impact she has is insane. So
and Sunday is the first channel I saw Sunday on was Fisk, and I was just on Fisk's channel too, so I think that was the first Sunday channel I ever saw her on.
Josh gotta give one to Josh, and if Calvin shows up too, gotta give one to him. I just don't want everybody to have a wrench because I do want it at the same time, but then if everybody gets a wrench, who has a wrench?
Yeah, I low-key might have to start taking away wrenches, and that's gonna be that might be sad.
Here's the thing. Here's what I like. We can. As far as my channel goes, I don't know what you're gonna do on your channel, but I'll probably reset my mods every few months. Let's see who really is an OG and keeps getting the wrenches over and over and over again. So just because if we get too much wrenches, then like you said, then it'll be like nobody has wrenches.
Mm-hmm.
So
what I am gonna do though, eventually that you did, which was really smart, is I'm gonna restructure my membership thing to just being one level.
Yes,
because it's just too much work.
Everybody, I just have Edward Chan's yo right there. So my bad, Edward. I'm trying to get my stream comments right here, but yeah, I'm gonna do that for everybody that is a member on my channel or thinking about being a member on my channel. I'm gonna do some crazy stuff on my members stuff, like merch and bonus videos and vlogs. Of course, because I don't want to vlog on my channel, on this channel, because I don't think that's giant. It's not what this channel is about. So I'll post my vlogs and my members only videos and stuff like that. So if anybody wants to become a member, I would say don't join the membership yet. Wait till I change the membership and get approved from it from YouTube. I'm gonna make a universal membership.
Oh, I forgot. YouTube has to go through it and
YouTube
be like, "Oh, is it good?"
Yeah, YouTube has to approve it or whatever. So once I do that, anybody that wants to be a member, don't do it yet because I don't want you guys to just spend your money and then I just reset the thing anyway. I'm going to reset my memberships and make it just universal, one membership, $5 a month. I'll meet in the middle, $5 a month, and you get everything that's exclusive. You're gonna get on the members only. So that being said, KB gonna be vlogging the football, super flag football. No, that's gonna be on the channel. Members would definitely see it first. Anything in real life, because I want to do a lot of in real life stuff. Anything in real life, the members are going to see it first. That is for sure. But let me quickly give a huge shout out to my guy King Sean. Let me switch back to the other StreamYard comments.
Get that Josh Valencia super chat.
Yeah, that's what I'm about to do right now. I'm trying to get to the StreamYard comments because I got both of them pulled up. So yeah, Josh Valencia, thank you so much for the $5 super chat, man. He is a constant constant supporter of the channel, and he's a Miami Dolphins fan. Like, what are you guys doing? There's no excuses. This man's a Miami Dolphins fan. We barely talk Miami Dolphins. But thank you, Josh Valencia. He says, thank you for the wrench. No, thank you for being a good supporter.
And I just realized I made a mistake. I mixed up Sunday with Bertha. My bad, Sunday. I know Sunday from Authentic. Bertha is the one that's in the stream.
Yeah. But yes, that's where I found her too. Sunday was on Authentic stream. Mm-hmm. And quick note. Vized is in the building. Yo, Vized.
You seen his videos?
Yes, they're good, man. They're fire. Listen, Vized, if I record my flag football highlights, I want a highlight video.
What position you play in the league?
I play middle linebacker because in flag football I play middle linebacker. Sometimes I play the slot. Mostly I play the slot, middle linebacker, and then I play running back, slot receiver, and I'm a backup quarterback because I'm so short. Yeah, I'm a Swiss Army knife, man. But I'm a jack of all trades, master of none. But it's all right. But it's all good. But yo, Vized, that would be insane if you could edit that, man. I just got to get good camera work out of whoever's going to be recording for me. But yeah, guys, we'll be talking some NFL.
A little bit of everything, I feel like.
A little bit of everything. There's not a lot of Giants news since when we last went live. Edward Chance says slot. Yeah, slot. So I don't play outside.
It's flag football because I see somebody else said linebacker.
Yeah. It's flag football, guys. So when in flag football, I guess my best skill set was is reading the quarterback. So I always play linebacker. I don't play outside corner because I'm just too small. The bigger guys always line up on the outside, and that's why I don't play wide receiver on the outside because I'm too damn small. So yeah, I'm slot everything in football, but. Anyway, back to real football, NFL football. I'll quickly go over some storylines here. There's not a lot to talk about, especially for the New York Giants. The biggest news that we found out pretty much today was the New York Giants decided not to extend Dave DeGuglielmo. I can't believe I said that on the first try. Hopefully that was right. Dave DeGuglielmo was not extended, our offensive line coach. So now the Giants are going to be looking for another O-line coach. Kush, your thoughts?
I was surprised because I thought he was going to be the guy. I mean, I think everybody thought he was going to be the guy after we let go of Colombo. He was specifically somebody that Judge wanted to have in there since basically the beginning of the season, not just the middle. And the reason we're getting, from what I've read, that he didn't come back wasn't like any disagreements with coaches or philosophies. It was like a contract dispute. So I was just that's what I've read. I could be wrong, right?
Okay, so he wanted the big bucks, yeah.
Yeah, it was either that or I'm maybe something in terms of length. Who knows, right? But I guess I was just surprised, and it leaves me worried. I'm not gonna lie. I had a video out was it 2 days ago, specifically about Kevin Zeitler, but talking about how I don't want Kevin Zeitler to be let go, and I've been pretty consistent on that the entire season. But I also mentioned during that video was like, yo, listen, this offensive line. It's on its way to getting fixed, but a lot of Giants fans are already fooling themselves into thinking it's already fixed. The fact that we're now looking for another offensive line coach only makes that process a lot longer than it needs to be. Mm-hmm. Like, we've already been looking for a good offensive line and getting them developed with these young guys for essentially 3 years now. You don't want to make it any longer and harder than it has to be, but that's what it's looking like. At least that's the worst case scenario. I would hope that whoever we bring in doesn't come up with a completely new blocking scheme because that will make it so bad. That will make it so bad. But yeah, I'm hoping that the worst doesn't come out. And to be honest with you, the worst is pretty realistic.
Yeah, I know. Let me quickly get these the super chat. But everybody say hi to Bobby. What's going on, Bobby?
Hey, Bobby.
Jaden Dawkins with the $2 super chat. Appreciate that. He says KB playing linebacker gets juked by Barkley. KB retires. I mean, I think anybody would retire
by Saquon, bro.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's winning a battle with Saquon Barkley. But as far as that goes, I'm completely with you, man. I don't know what the Giants are gonna do. I don't know. I don't think the public is really, unless you're really well versed in the coaching world, you don't know who's really out there. You don't know who's sitting on the couch. You don't know who's available for interviews to be offensive line coach. So we don't know what direction the Giants are going to go. I just hope that it remains consistent with the job we're already doing, and try to develop this offensive line. If that means doing something different, I'm probably okay with it because it doesn't seem like that was working before. But as long as it works, And that whole Gooks thing with contract disputes, I think you're probably right about that because I'm one. If he helped build that great offensive line in Indianapolis, why was he such a fail? Like he wasn't brought back in Miami. Like he was sitting on his couch.
He has 6 jobs in 6 years.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean that says some good. That says some bad. That says teams want him, but says he didn't stick around. So
and usually the main
really
reason is that Googs is not good with the media. That's usually the main reason.
Okay.
But I mean, I haven't even seen him in Giants media, so it couldn't have been that.
Exactly. So hey, maybe that's what it is. He just doesn't want to talk to anybody. So I don't know. Like I don't know, man. I don't know. I just hope we bring in someone well versed. And if we bring in a new guy, obviously someone's got to start somewhere, right? If we bring in a new guy, I just hope he just knows what he's doing. I just hope he knows what he's doing because he's gonna have to coach other new players. You're gonna have to coach newer players. You got Kevin Zeitler on there, some experienced guys, but like Cam Fleming if he comes back. But everybody else is on their rookie contracts and still learning how it is to be an offensive lineman in the NFL. I just hope if it's a new guy that they decide to give a chance on, because that's like Joe Judge is a new guy, so he might try to give a shot to someone else. But I just hope it all goes well. Appreciate Sunday in the comment section.
Look at that, already moderator.
Already going at it. Yeah.
Real quick, football talk. He says he's trying to start a football or Giants YouTube channel. Any tips? The biggest one, be consistent. That doesn't mean go ham and upload every single day, like 3 videos a day. If you upload once a week, be consistent with it. Upload once a week. You have to get people used to sort of like their internal clock of you,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and one thing I will definitely say, when you're in this YouTube world, and I'm gonna be real with everybody, because I know I want as saturated and as much as it may hurt our channels, I guess, as saturated as it is, I'm going to give you guys the best advice. If you guys really want to start a YouTube channel, do not chase the money. Do not chase what video is going to give you the dollar bills. At the end of the day, no matter how well-intended you are, you always get in the back of your mind, is this going to make money? Is it not? And then that winds up being your priority. I've definitely had those times where I've scrapped videos, I've scrapped ideas because I didn't feel like it was going to make enough views, therefore not enough revenue. But you got to keep doing what you want to do to keep things fresh, because even if you don't, like my Undrafted Analyst podcast doesn't get a lot of views. I love doing it though. I love talking football. That hurt like hell.
Was that your elbow?
Yeah.
He's feeling all the shockwaves.
Yeah, golly, that would just I feel like I just put on the Infinity Gauntlet just now, dude. That's but yeah, just do what you want to do, and the views will follow. And if they're not satisfying, I mean, as far as monetization goes, just keep doing what you want to do, guys. It'll keep things fresh because you'll get tired out, you'll get burnt out. Believe it or not, I know some smaller YouTubers that try to go big all the way. Not going to name any names because they're not around on YouTube right now and wouldn't be fair for them. But I've known people that try to get their YouTube career started and it just dies out because they try to be, reactionary and out there so they can get revenue and views and things like that. Doesn't work. Do what you want to do. Do what you literally, do the videos that you wanted to do before you actually started doing them. Okay.
And
that makes any sense. Yeah, exactly.
Never do something that's not you. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like KB could tell you, that's how he built his channel. This man was on a bed with a rinky-dinky phone recording for a couple years. It worked because guess what? He stayed consistent.
Yes.
And both in what he was uploading, when he was uploading, and how he was uploading it. You know what I'm saying? And then with me, I went from being a sub to being a YouTuber. You just gotta stay consistent. It's not easy. It's like the worst thing. You upload a video that you spend a lot of time working on, and then you get like 5 views. Because I've had that happen back when I started. It's just what happens.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying. And real quick, 2 things from the chat. This is Bobby. He says, "Can we come on tonight?" Me and KB have talked about it. Oh, not tonight because we actually haven't decided yet, but we were definitely thinking about doing like a call-in for the young guns in the future.
Yeah, definitely. We got some other plans as well. I think we're coming up on a mock draft stream one of these days.
Probably next week, because you know what? My mock draft is actually up right now, the full one for members. It went up yesterday. I put out my promo video yesterday. It got a lot of views because I think people thought that was the actual one. They didn't read the full title. Put my promo yesterday. Members could see it. So if there's any members of my channel here that doesn't know that my mock draft is up, it's up. It's going to be available on Friday, or if all the members view it by tomorrow, I'll release it tomorrow. Because the whole reason it's early is so that the members could see it. So as everybody sees it, I got no problem releasing it earlier than expected.
I'm looking forward to it, man. I still got to create my mock draft. I haven't even started it yet. I'm just doing a lot of film reviews and stuff like that. I don't know why I'm such a perfectionist. Like I could just throw out a mock draft and just say, hey, it's my mock draft, my first mock draft. But I want to be like thorough, you know? I don't know. But
no, it's better to be thorough than not to be. Sure. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's why I'm just gonna take my time
and Bobby, it's fine that you missed Tuesday, which is usually my calling shows. I actually made a community post. I was out Tuesday, so I couldn't do it this week.
Yeah, so he was out too. He was out too. Yeah. So yeah. Oh yeah, my last key to my last piece of advice for any of you guys that want to make YouTube videos: confidence is key. If you don't have the best quality of videos, your confidence is gonna drive you. So like Hub said, I started off with a phone with a Galaxy S6, and I would record with that thing. Sometimes I had a little tablet. It was a Galaxy tablet, but it was garbage. You know, I used that, and I just kept making videos consistently. And eventually, you get to where I'm at right now with a freaking microphone, a computer, a desk, all that stuff, lighting and stuff like that. You'll get there. So anybody that wants to make videos in the future, you know, keep pursuing your dreams, man. Yeah. So Mike Nixon in the building. What up, Mike Nixon? He says,
"This is the homie."
Yeah, that's the homie right there. He said, "Yo, Hub, KB, check the Discord. I sent y'all a photo of my Slayton and Dexter Lawrence, I guess jerseys. I finally got it in the mail, but
Mike was telling me he was gonna get color rush of them, bro.
Oh, nice, man. 97, and your boy Slayton, bro."
That's fire. Yo, listen, Mike, I'm definitely going to check when I get back into Discord because he's been waiting for that, I want to say a couple weeks now. Mike, like I asked him a couple weeks ago, what's the next jersey you going to get? He's like, I'm getting 2. Mike out here living. Thank you, Mike.
Appreciate that, Mike. But,
Jaden Dawkins just said the Cavs beat the Nets. I'm sorry. I had to get that out there. I hate the Nets.
Oh, yes. And everybody was going off saying, oh, my God, this is the first time Kyrie and James Harden and Kevin Durant are going to be on the same field together. Look what happened.
How you lose to the Cavs?
Starting off with the L.
Jesus.
With the L. But Fish just tweeted, Nets just lost to Colin Sexton.
That's really who they lost to, bro.
Oh man, but yeah, let me pull up the NFL app, the NFL website real quick because there is some stuff to talk about. There is some serious. Listen, I'm not gonna take this. I'm gonna take this with a grain of salt. But there are some serious talks right now. It used to be with the Dolphins. It used to be with the 49ers. Now Deshaun Watson supposedly wants to go to the Jets. So Richard Sherman even said on a podcast, I guess with PFF, he did a podcast with PFF and said that he should go to the Jets.
People are like, I've seen it. They're like, oh my God, these talks are actually intensifying. Are you serious?
But why does he want to go to the Jets?
That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, yo, is he looking to the Jets? This could only mean he loves the hire of Robert Saleh and what Robert Saleh is about to do.
Yeah, that's why the only reason why.
I do not want Watson on the Jets, though, and it's not because it's like, oh, I want to remain the best New York team, because there's certain franchises that will ruin you no matter what, bro. The Jets are one of those franchises. Now, the Browns used to be one, and you know what, to be honest, the jury's still out. They haven't ruined Baker Mayfield. I should add a yet, because of how many quarterbacks they've ruined. The Jets could be the new quarterback graveyard, and I would hate to see him go there and just
it's been that way. It's been that way for a while. I mean, it's not even just that. They just picked garbage, like not garbage, because I don't think Sam Darnold is garbage, but in the past they picked garbage quarterbacks, right? They got Bryce Petty and Christian Hackenberg in recent years. Like, you know, there's no point to those guys. They sucked and they were high draft picks. They're like both second round picks. So, Bradley said Deshaun Watson has the same cap hit as Golden Tate. Yes, and everybody's talking about that, but next year he has to be signed to a new contract.
Deshaun Watson's still on his rookie deal.
He's already on a new contract.
His extension hasn't kicked in yet. He's still on his rookie deal.
Yeah, so as soon as that hits, it's $40 million. So that's something that any team that picks him up has to prepare for as far as cap goes in the next years, which is going to be harder preparing for future cap.
And Calvin is in here.
Calvin, my guy Calvin I saw Calvin in here, but I didn't. Let's see if he has a wrench. Does he have a wrench? Calvin.
No. You said you were going to give him though.
Oh, he has a wrench. He's wrenched.
I
He's
bet.
wrenched, and he's a member. Appreciate that, Calvin. Appreciate that. But yeah, what do you think? I mean, do you think that the Jets talks are real, and do you think that Deshaun Watson would benefit being with the Jets more than any other team?
Hey man, listen. This is crazy because this reminds me so much of the Kyler Murray talks back in 2019. Kyler Murray's going to be drafted number 1 overall, and people are like, no way. They just took a quarterback. It reminds me so much of that because I'm like, there's no way Deshaun is going to go to the Jets. I still don't know how that rumor got thrown out there because everybody is thinking they're going to take Justin Fields in the draft, right? It doesn't make sense how it's thrown out there. But it's getting like the tweets themselves are saying, oh my God, these rumors are intensifying. Now there's people claiming that Deshaun Watson wants to go to Jets. And it's like, at this point, I'm starting to think, where there's smoke, there's got to be some type of fire. Like, I don't understand it. I don't get the thought process. Maybe it really is Robert Saleh. Maybe it's the fact that, he wants to be in the New York media. Maybe he thinks he could come over here and do something. I really don't know. Man, it just reminds me so much of that Kyler Murray thing. Because even with the Kyler Murray thing, I was like, if it is true, it's crazy, but I don't know if it's true. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's one of those things where it seems
and Bobby
like,
says that the Jets have a lot of money in cap space.
Oh yeah, the Jets have a lot of money. That's why it makes sense if Deshaun Watson were to land there. The only question is Deshaun Watson benefit by being there. It's a real. I mean, they just got out of a Houston Texans situation where their GM was stupid, and they just got rid of their head coach that was stupid. So they're resetting themselves just like the Houston Texans did. So I really don't see how the New York Jets are going to be that much of an upgrade for the Houston Texans. So I mean their rosters are relatively the same. They need wide receiver help. Their offensive line, I guess it is about the same as the Houston Texans offensive line. Solid tackle. But nothing else other than that. And then both their defenses are trash. So I don't know how, and they have no running game. You thought the Houston Texans had no running game? The Jets have no running game. So
that's another reason why I'm like, it doesn't make sense because you're not really improving your situation.
Exactly. So
at least immediately.
I can't see how that's going to help Deshaun Watson anyway, unless you really are buying into Rob Saleh's type of philosophy.
Who's the Jets GM right now? I'm sorry if I don't know, guys.
I think Joe Douglas.
Is it still Joe Douglas?
Yeah, I think the Mcdaniel is the guy that got Mcdaniel is the owner, or he's the other GM that.
Whatever the case is, they should have gotten rid of whoever their GM currently is as well when they got rid of Adam Gase.
Yeah, and just completely reset, right?
Exactly. They should completely reset.
Current general manager of the New York Jets. Yeah, so. And he was just hired like 3 years ago, or 2 years, I don't know, something like that. But still, you still reset and see what happened. Yeah, everybody's saying Joe Douglas. And there are some talks now as we shift the conversation. As we see toward free agency, we're going to see guys start to get cut. Obviously, the cap space for this year might not hit that low of 175, but still has a possibility of hitting 100 as low as 180. So it looks like there's a positive about $5 billion or $5 million, right? Looks like. Oh, you're muted.
Yeah, I was like, I'm muted because like the TV. I was like, is that because of the TV deals? Like, why is that?
I am not sure, but it seems like they feel like they're gonna have another $5 billion per team. So it is what it is there. So it looks like it could hit a low of 180. But the best case scenario is what the NFL is saying. The best case scenario is that they might hit 200 million. That would be a huge thing for most of these teams, especially the New York Giants, a team that is just barely in the red due to COVID, the COVID stuff. If they're able to get an extra $25 million boost, that is huge for the Giants. And then they could keep a guy, a really good starter like Kevin Zeitler, and then possibly bring back Dalvin and Leo or whatever the case may be.
By the way, hey, yo, listen, bro, listen. Mm-hmm. Re-sign Leonard Williams at all costs, bro. I know. I was like, yo, he's not worth $20 million, bro.
He shifted. Where's Pest?
Leonard Williams?
Where's Pest?
Leonard Williams for $20 million. I'm kidding. The reason I'm saying that is because this man, you guys know,
I know,
had me in his IG post,
Let me take off my fake glasses here, my imaginary glasses here, and give you a freaking round of applause, bro. Let me tell you, man, that gave me like freaking goosebumps, bro. I was like, damn. I was like, this guy's really making it out here, man.
Bro, I found out through my Discord. I thought Edward Chen was the person that told me. I was like, Edward's trolling, bro. There's no way to. I was like, he's trolling. He's like, this was the exact message Edward put in the Discord. He's like, yo, Hub, bro, this is crazy. Leo has you on Instagram. I'm like, what? I'm like, what?
Oh, it's funny how they recognize your voice,
right? Yeah, I had a message from his YouTube and Instagram account. This was Instagram. Oh, this guy named Mystery, and he was like, "Yo, is this your voice?" He sent me the clip. I'm like, "There's no way." And what's funny is I found this out as I was leaving because, like I said, I was going out last night, so I couldn't even have the time to make a legit reaction video. Put one up today, and people that have too much time on their hands were upset by it because they've spent a lot of time on YouTube and they have yet to have any type of accomplishment like this. But like,
I love it.
I was just like, there's no way. That surprised me. And even if Leonard Williams, let's say somehow that means he doesn't watch it, I think it does mean that he watches the Giants community. Dude, the people that work with him watches us.
Let me tell you.
The people that work with him watch us.
Yes, I told you this on Twitter. I told you this when we were texting. This proves that not only Leonard Williams, I'm sure there are a bunch of New York Giants out there or just NFL guys out there that watch video makers like us, watch the community for their respective teams. Cowboys players might watch Cowboys, YouTubers, Philly players might watch. I mean, I don't think they watch Philly YouTubers for any enjoyment. They're all reactionary jokesters, except Philly 500. Philly 500 is awesome, but everybody else. What are they doing? And
Max just dropped the super chat.
Yeah, I'm gonna get to your super chat right now. But with the Giants, we had our guy Olawale Bitiku, on here.
He had a
New York Giant on here, and he said he really loved the show. He wanted to even. I don't think we ever told anybody this. He said if he stood on the team or whatever, he would have. He would try to get other players to get on the podcast. So I mean, the guys watched.
And Olawale was a cool dude. I really wish he was still on the
Such a dope guy, man.
But yeah, he was straight up. He's like, yo, if I make it, I'm taking you guys with me, basically.
Yeah. So I mean, shout out to him. But there are other guys that are probably watching us and watching our videos and not really caring that much what we think, but seeing what is the talk around the town. You know what I'm saying? So they probably respect us or hate us. But Max Webster, thank you so much for the $5
logo, by the way.
Man.
Nice
and
logo.
that logo, yeah, he's already getting started, man. Like he's like, let me get everything set before I make this stuff. He's got his mic, he's got everything going on. He got the logo now. Max, welcome to the YouTube world, my friend. I appreciate that. He said, what's good, y'all? I had to pop in and say hi. Always enjoy the streams. I'll be lurking for a bit. Then I had to head to bed. 5 a.m. comes early. Hub, congrats. In parentheses, Leo. So, yeah. Like I said, Kush, congrats to you, man. Like I can't be any more proud of you, man. Any more happy.
Thank you, man. And I said in that video, it's because of the subs, yo, at the end of the day. And that's what that video was for. It's obvious. It's obvious some people didn't watch it and just made assumptions. That entire video was me saying that particular video that Leo reaches or my channel does not reach him unless my subs are liking and sharing everything. Because all I do is post it. That's it.
Yeah, all you do is post it and the rest works, And it's I'm telling you, it's you guys, man. It's the subs. You guys, the support you guys have been giving us, even on a saturated New York Giants, saturated New York Giants community. There's a lot of us. It's huge. So it's hard for us to even get recognition anywhere. But you guys always support every single one of our. Usually a lot of channels have their own like fan bases, right? But you guys are everywhere. So I appreciate you guys for that. Let's get to the next super chat here. Wolf's going off in the comments. Mike Nixon says, I'll say his name. Oh yeah, we won't. You guys could just check Twitter. We won't speak on it here. It doesn't deserve it. Jaden Dawkins with the infamous $3.99, the red $3.99 super chat says Dallas Cowboys doesn't even watch KB videos. Yeah, they I don't think they like me that much, but as much as you may think they do. But yeah, guys, we appreciate the support. And yeah, like I said, if Leo Williams showed us anything, is that they watch us out there, man.
Bro, I said in the video, I'm like, hey, yo, Leo, if you're watching this somehow, bro, yo, take that hometown discount, bro. Come on now. You know you want to stay with the Giants.
He said, oh, wait, let me see. Oh, yeah, so I wanted to get to some free agents that are popping up here, getting released. One of them that caught my eye was Mark Ingram, just released by the Baltimore Ravens. Now, although I'm not head over heels for Mark Ingram at this point of his career, I looked at his stats, and he was a late scratch in his last 4 games he was in. He didn't play a lot this season. He really didn't have the explosiveness that he was expected to have, being a 1,000-yard rusher last year. But he's still an interesting name, guy. This guy had a really good career as a Baltimore Raven and New Orleans Saint, and if he could come in and spell Saquon Barkley, for them to be a 1-2 punch, I'm not asking for Mark Ingram to put up 800 yards a season, a quick 400 yards and a couple of touchdowns. This guy knows how to get to the end zone, man. He really does. He puts up 12 touchdowns.
And guess what? He's a bruiser back.
He's a bruiser back. And let me tell you, guys, last year, I didn't know how he had any success with the Ravens last year. They don't run a scheme that he's perfectly for. Like the pistol formation with Mark Ingram, that's for like a faster, speedier back that hits the outside. Mark Ingram is not that. He's a running downhill, run the ball down your throat in between the tackle type of guy. That's what the Giants run. So I think Mark Ingram would be a really good fit here. I want to get everybody's opinion on this, especially you, Kush, about Mark Ingram coming over here. I wouldn't. If he wants starter money, obviously that's a no-go, right? Because we have Saquon Barkley, and we could try to, re-sign Wayne Gallman for what, $4 million to $3-4 million. We could try to get him for, unless Gallman wants to hit the market as a starter. Who knows? But if I'm looking at it as this, if Mark Ingram could put up, somewhat of production of his first year with Baltimore and his last years in New Orleans, that would be fine. I would give him. If he was asking for the same amount of money that Wayne Gallman is asking for, I'm going Mark Ingram.
Here's the thing.
I want to get your take on that.
If Wayne Gallman walks, which I have a feeling that Wayne Gallman may walk for one reason or the other, Mark Ingram is almost like the perfect replacement, not in terms of he does what Gallman does, because they're two different things, but the perfect replacement in terms of like, that's what we need, man. A bruiser back, somebody that was legit a starter at one point in the NFL. If you forget, he was a first-round pick by the Saints. I'm pretty sure he was he a Heisman winner too?
Yeah, no, yeah. Yes.
He was a Heisman winner. He's also worked with Burton Burns, our current running back coach. Mark Ingram has the guy who trained him up was Burton Burns, but he made that seamless transition from being a starter number 1 running back in the NFL to a perfect 1-2 punch second running back with Alvin Kamara, which, by the way, what running back is really similar to Alvin Kamara? Oh yeah, Saquon Barkley. Wow. Also, what is Mark Ingram? A great leader and veteran presence in the locker room.
That's what I was about to say too as well. This guy will support anybody, man. He did not throw a temper tantrum when Alvin Kamara came in as a higher draft pick. Alvin Kamara started to get more reps. Mark Ingram took the role, accepted that he's a role player, and went out there and split carries with Alvin Kamara and Latavius Murray.
They were a perfect 1-2
Yeah,
punch.
and guess what? Adrian Peterson was there as well. Adrian Peterson and Alvin Kamara.
Bro, the rotation of him and Saquon would actually be really good in my opinion.
Exactly. And then you go to Baltimore and he's out here, big trust. Lamar Jackson is MVP, big trust. He supports his guys out there.
He loves whatever team he plays for.
Exactly. And he had a fantastic farewell. He was released as soon as their season was over. And even though he didn't get to play in even either of those playoff games as a healthy scratch, he still had a class, and he said his goodbyes and made peace with the Baltimore Ravens, had no ill will against them at all. Said nothing crazy on Twitter. He just said on Instagram that they're a class act organization, and he went on about his day. So I love Mark Ingram. I think he'll be a perfect fit here with the New York Giants. His dad,
I want him. I'm gonna tell you right now. Yeah,
his dad won a Super Bowl here. His dad won a Super Bowl here. So why not try to get Mark Ingram Jr. to try to win a Super Bowl over here?
Ingram Sr. is a former Giant with a Super Bowl. I already said the Burton Burns things, which is exactly what Max Webster is saying. So I'm gonna let you get that.
Yeah, so Max Webster with another $5 super chat. You're killing it, Max. Thank you so much, man. He says Ingram will come for the sole reason of the RB coach. He had high praises of Burton Burns. Yeah, man. Listen, I'm gonna make a video on it as well. I was trying to make a video today on it, but I really think Mark Ingram to the Giants would be a really, really good move. He does not need to be a starter in the NFL. I think he knows that. This is his second team he was on that he was not a surefire starter. J.K. Dobbins took that role, and Gus Edwards took that split role, and he was the third head there. And then in his late days with New Orleans, they brought in Latavius Murray, Adrian Peterson, and Alvin Kamara. So I really, really like Mark Ingram to the New York Giants. Mike Nixon, appreciate another super chat, man. Mike Nixon, you're awesome. Appreciate it, man. He said, what are your thoughts on signing Patrick Peterson as a cornerback 2 on a cheap 3-year deal with the option to get out in 2 years? I would do it. I still think he can be productive. Here's the only thing, Mike. I feel like that would be a fantastic move. That's Giants,
a dream move.
Yeah, it's a dream move. I think it's a little bit of a pipe dream. And I'll explain in just a second, but I know the contract. I love the contract situation you put. Of course, Dave Gettleman is known for doing a contract like this. I believe Jason Bradbury and Blake Martinez are on contracts like this. Maybe somebody else as well. Who knows? But that's kind of how he structures his contracts, and I love the way he does that. But as far as Patrick Peterson goes, I don't think he'll come to a situation where he is cornerback 2, and I think he wants cornerback 1 money, and I know he'll get that anywhere else that needs a cornerback 1. They'll throw money at Patrick Peterson. So that's why even if the Giants are interested, I just don't think he would come here for the sole reason that we wouldn't pay him it's cornerback 1 money, because we're already paying James Bradbury on $15.2
exactly
or something like that.
That's the only point that I can make against that. It would be amazing. You talk about a shutdown secondary. You're not getting much more shutdown than that with Bradbury and Peterson. But Peterson's not going to take cornerback 2 money, and he's not going to take a contract that doesn't have like a guaranteed job security for like more than 4 years or something. At least that's what I think. I mean, he's still playing at a pretty high level, right, and he's has the resume to show that he deserves another big contract. But we can't do that another big contract.
Yeah. So I mean, as far as Patrick Peterson goes, I would love him over here, man. I would love him over here, but just doesn't seem likely. I see one thing here. Muzz, this seems like it may have. I think Richard Sherman is a free agent this year. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think he is a free agent.
He didn't sign a long contract,
and he has a love for Robert Saleh that I mean more than I've ever seen in a player from a coach before. I mean, this guy talks about him highly, even dating back to last year. And I could definitely see Richard Sherman going to the Jets, especially if Deshaun Watson goes. And it's no coincidence that Richard Sherman was the one that said Deshaun Watson should go to the Jets.
Yeah, I remember that. Yep.
Let's put the pieces together here. All right, let's put the pieces together here. Let's see. Kid Blue, would y'all want Troy Hill and Dalton as a backup? Okay, Troy Hill, the safety, I'm assuming. I don't think we need any more safety.
Bro, we have great safety depth, not let alone great safety starters. We got great depth.
Unless Hill is a corner, I don't know if he's a corner. I thought Troy Hill was a safety. Let's see. Oh, he's a cornerback. It depends, man. It depends. I don't really know what his stats are looking at. 1 sack, 7 interceptions in his career. He had 3 interceptions this year. I mean, I don't think he'll be a bad fit. So, I mean, we'll see how it all goes out. I'm going to start doing like film reviews on free agents.
And Mark Nasty, he says, do we see Peterson getting a big deal? I'm not saying like every team's going to give him, but there's going to be at least 1 or 2 team out there that's going to give him for sure a big deal.
Yeah, here's the thing, Mark Nasty. I think Patrick Peterson, at this stage of his career, I think he's still a number 1, and there are teams that definitely value him as a number 1, and there are teams that definitely need cornerback help. You look at the Philadelphia Eagles; they definitely need cornerback help. Yeah, they could be a team. Well, they're not a team in position to throw cornerback 1 money out there. So maybe that was a bad example, but other teams out there would definitely throw money out at Patrick Peterson, and I don't think we would be a strong contender for that, just because. I mean, Isaac Yiadom did not do it. If all goes worse and we can't figure out to get a cornerback here, Isaac Yiadom coming back for another year is not bad. It is not a bad option. You guys can't tell me that Isaac Yiadom was a huge problem towards the end of the season, because he just wasn't. I mean, I thought the secondary in total played pretty well. I think it was just the middle of the field was a big problem. And unfortunately, we don't have really good coverage linebackers to guard up the middles, like the slot receivers and the tight ends out there. So, if everything goes worst case scenario, Isaac Yiadom is still our number 2. I don't think that's a bad deal. So, I mean, you guys have your opinion on that. I would love Patrick Peterson over here as a number 2 corner. I just feel like we're in a little bit of a cap situation right now. If this was the next year, if this was 2022 offseason where we have about, I'm hearing $90 million we're slated for. Of course, that's without the extension of Saquon Barkley and Daniel Jones that we'll have to extend the next year. But, as far as that goes, then I will be, wouldn't mind if we're trying to make a championship push. I wouldn't mind bringing in Patrick Peterson, but yeah, we'll see. I like Drake Kirkpatrick either as a number 2. Drake Kirkpatrick he played pretty well for Arizona. He played pretty damn well for Arizona. So I wouldn't mind. And he's one of the guys I thought the Giants should have brought in. Even going back to when we released DeAndre Baker, that we should have brought him in. He played on $1 million contract.
Yeah. Drake Kirkpatrick, it was between him and I'm forgetting Ross Cockrell. Those were the 2 guys that a lot of people were eyeing for that, that second cornerback spot. And we could have used either one of them, to be honest. But Drake Kirkpatrick definitely had the better season.
Right. I love that idea.
Leonard Floyd, because we talked about that when we were calling the Rams game.
He is a free agent, and I'm getting excited, man, because Leonard Floyd, although he's a guy that gets hurt, he hasn't been getting hurt recently. He had 10.5 sacks in his first years with the Los Angeles Rams. He's starting to actually reach his potential that he was supposed to have as that number 3 overall pick in the 2015 draft. He was right after Winston and Mariota. He went right after Jacksonville at number 3, grabbed him up. He was supposed to be their guy, their Yannick Ngakoue, their Josh Allen, but he tore his ACL his rookie year and never got back. Now he's doing a lot better, had a really good season with Los Angeles, and with the Giants, he would fit he is the pro comp for Lorenzo Carter was Leonard Floyd.
Yeah.
So think about bringing in the pro comp.
Here's the thing. It would be perfect to bring in Leonard Floyd if this is the situation. We re-sign the entire defensive line, because Rams have a great defensive line. That definitely helped them out. But we also saw after Aaron Donald went out, Floyd got a couple sacks on his own in that playoff game. So it's like,
oh, yeah, he was making plays on his own.
So it's like, do I want to sign him? Yeah. It's going to be how much money is he asking? And it completely depends. If we keep this defensive line together, if we keep Dalvin and Leo on here, him on here would be deadly.
Yeah, and that gets me excited. The biggest – I got a bunch of videos coming out, so I don't even want to spoil it. But I'm making a free agents wish list, and Leonard Floyd is definitely on the top, one of the guys at the top of my list. Bradley says, any updates on Zoe Carter? Not that I know of. But I'm pretty sure he is working his way back and should be back by the
he was Achilles, right? The Achilles injury?
I believe so. O'Shane was the guy that almost came back, but they had second thoughts and they said, screw it. It's the end of the season. We'll just leave you and save you for next year. So O'Shane for sure should be back. And Lorenzo Carter still a question mark, but I'm by the time August comes, he'll be fine. I think he'll make it around March. In March and April when they start doing if they even have those mini camps and stuff like that. Rookie, the mini camps.
And somebody else asked earlier, Miles Jack. I saw that you highlighted that for a second. I would say no, just because Miles Jack probably want a bit more of middle linebacker, one type of money.
I Miles Jack, I guess wouldn't say he's a bust because he was supposed to be a first round pick. He wanted getting picked in the second because he tore his ACL that year. I liked Miles Jack. A lot of people didn't. I didn't think he was the best. Like they were hyping up to him to be the best middle linebacker, like come out since like freaking Patrick Willis or whatever. I didn't think he was that, but I thought he was really good. I still think he's decent. I know Jaguars fans like him a bit, so I wouldn't mind bringing him in here. But I don't think we should even bring in a inside linebacker on a decent contract. Like if you bring one in, bring a rotational guy, have that second inside linebacker be a rotational guy because you got Jack is not even a free agent, guys. What you talking about with this damn nonsense? Jack is not even a free agent. Kid Green is in the building. What a Kid Green! I love that freaking profile picture. That is so good. How are you going to go full? Oh, snap. You're going Hollywood on him?
What are you talking about, Kid Green?
Oh, man. Going Hollywood on Kid Green.
Two big ones.
Whoa. Hey, now. Tudo in the building. I appreciate that, Tudo. He says, ciao, Bello Paisanos, Kush and KB. One of the best Giants content creators out here.
Wait, hold up. KB, you're Hispanic. You should know how to pronounce 2 L's. I know it's Italian, but it's the same. It's the same thing.
Ayo.
Yeah.
All right. He says 2 of the best content creators. one of the best content creators ever. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that too, though. We are the
Love
young
you
guns
too,
out
though.
here, so
He is our paisano from all the way
yeah.
from Italy. It's so surprising. This man is actually in Italy watching us,
Yeah,
bro.
that we international, man. We're
Yeah.
international. It's crazy. It is crazy when you're in this position, guys. When you're talking to a camera for like 3+ hours a day, and you're like, losing your mind. You always think back and like, damn, there's people across the country, across the continent, and across the world listening to us. That's crazy. So I appreciate that, Tudo. And my guy Mike Nixon coming in clutch once again, saying his farewells in tonight's stream. Says, all right, fellas, I'm heading to bed. By the way, Hub, y'all had me dying last night on the Just Chilling podcast. I got some football stories. Unfortunately, I can no longer play. I tore my ACL and my Achilles on the same play in high school.
Bro, the football gods, Mike, I'm sorry. The football gods really did you dirty.
The football gods, man. I appreciate that, Mike. Thank you so much, man. And I enjoyed listening to your stories, Mike. I remember back in the day when I used to stream these the call-ins. I always had a football story for me when he was coaching his team. So I appreciate that, Mike. Thank you so much for the super chat. Let's see. Trying to see read off the comments a little bit. Marking into the Giants. Yeah, Josh Valencia. We were talking about that earlier. I really feel like that should be a move the Giants should consider making. Not a top priority move, but a locker room move, a depth move, a familiarity move, right? With Burton Burns there, right? So
I gotta ask you back because we never really wrapped it up. How much would you give Leonard Floyd?
Leonard Floyd. Oh man.
That's the real question.
I'm not gonna. I love. Well, what excites me is his potential, not so much as his production in the past. Because he had one decent season as a former first-round pick, so I guess you could say he's a bust, but he was a gem for another team. If he stays healthy, I would throw 15 at him.
15 a year
for the potential. Like I said, it's not the production I'm looking at.
All the. I don't even know if we could
afford that. We would have to not. We would have to not keep around Leonard Williams. Now that would be a risk because Leonard Williams is the guy
I wouldn't bring him in.
Right,
we need that strong D line.
So if he could take, let's say, listen, this is why the cap being lowered for every single NFL team helps us because we're going to see a lot of guys not get overpaid in this offseason. We have been time and time again flabbergasted. Yes, I use that word, flabbergasted by the contracts that have been giving out to guys in multiple positions over the past couple of years with crazy like Kirk Cousins getting a huge contract, Ryan Tannehill, that wound up being worth it. But, a bunch of these overpaid guys, especially in pass rusher situations as well, being paid a lot of money, wide receivers as well, Odell making almost $20 million a year, that is all going to come to a stop this year. There are going to be a lot of guys either getting paid their actual value or less than that. So you can possibly see, although in last year's value, I could see Leonard Floyd being signed for a $15 million contract. This year, I could see him dropping down to 12, 13, or maybe even 11, 10, something like that. If he can possibly go down to 10, freaking sign me up, man. Sign me up. Now, of course, we have to see if we keep Leo or Dalvin. But sign me up. I'm getting Leonard Floyd.
Let's just say Leo and Dalvin combined would cost us like 32 mil, around that, because that's probably what's gonna come up to, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. And this kind of, I see Vized with actually a good question here. He says, should we sign Curtis Samuel and Kenny Galladay and then get Surtain or Parsons if they fall to us in the draft? I mean, you guys know me. I wouldn't mind signing Curtis Samuel, but if I'm signing Curtis Samuel, it's for around a $10 million deal, and he's the only wide receiver we're signing. We're going to draft somebody in the first round. Because guess what? That combination of Samuel and Galladay is probably going to come up to like around, and this is a very low estimate. So if Samuel signs for 10 mil, and then if Kenny Galladay's injury history brings down his price, it's probably going to come up to like around 28 to 30 mil still, which I'd put towards Dalvin and Leo.
Yeah. So I don't know. And I love DeAndre Hopkins, but I hate his contract because it screws up the market. I cannot believe a single wide receiver makes $25 million a year. I don't know why. I can never put my head around that. And wait till they have to pay Kyler Murray. But Muzz says, Kid Blue, you think Gallman would be a good fit for the Jets? They need a running back. Is McDaniels a good fit for the Eagles? Yes, McDaniels is a terrible head coach, so he's a very good fit for the
love
Eagles.
if Josh McDaniels goes to the Eagles.
And then y'all see Betcher interview for the Bears defensive coordinator job. He did.
You didn't see that?
Oh snap!
The Bears
James
defense about to be
Betcher.
trash, bro.
And didn't McAdoo interview with Jacksonville?
Yes. Nah, the thing is, Jacksonville low-key seems to be moving in the right direction. Obviously, we got to see what they do.
Oh yeah, I thought Urban Meyer was a fantastic hire. Getting a one of the best college quarterbacks to ever live, and then getting a college head coach. I mean, talk about the Kyler Murray and Cliff Kingsbury situation. That is that on steroids. You know.
But with James Betcher, I saw that. I think the news came out 2 nights ago or something. Hilarious. Khalil Mack is gonna quit halfway through the season, and I wouldn't blame him, bro.
Oh yeah, yo, Khalil Mack. Somebody told me, Kid Blue, if you could trade a 2nd-round pick for Khalil Mack, I said, just a 2nd-round pick, freaking sign me up. I'll take his contract. I don't care. Send a 2nd-round pick, sign me up. What?
Khalil Mack don't need no defensive line to get to the quarterback.
Vizet says, should we sign Curtis Samuel and draft Waddle? I know Hub, he's asking for you, Hub. I know you've been on board with this, so what are your thoughts? You get
I've been on board with, signing Samuel and drafting a wide receiver. Waddle.
Because honestly, man,
Waddle is such an enigma. I don't know.
I know, but honestly, I think that's the only wide receiver guy that will be there.
That's what's scary.
That's scary.
That's what's scary to me.
Because although I like Curtis Samuel, and I agree with your points on him, I probably am not going to sign Curtis Samuel. That's just my opinion. I don't think I would. He's just too much of a gadget guy to me. I want a guy that's going to be consistent. And there's the scare. Like if we had a lot of cap space, right? And Shepard was out, so we don't have to deal with his $10 million contract, I would definitely bring in Curtis Samuel, then sign Allen Robinson. But we're in a situation right now where we have if we sign Curtis Samuel and we don't get a big time free agent, we're waiting on the draft. Devonta Smith and Jamar Chase wind up not being there. We have to draft Waddle. And then we added another 5'10" wide receiver and another 5'10" wide receiver.
Here's the thing, though, bro. Here's the thing, man. You
freaking midgets running around everywhere.
You gotta look at my whatchamacallit. Gotta look at either just go look at Curtis Samuel or look at my Curtis Samuel video. You say he's a gadget player, but as a gadget player, the man had 800 receiving yards.
I know.
He catches anything that you put. Him and Allen Robinson are very similar, like receiver builds. They would catch anything you throw their way. And the thing with Curtis Samuel is, I'm like, yo, we're getting a backup running back and a starting receiver in one guy.
I get that. And that's what I'm saying. Although I'm not a big guy with gadget players, you have to really scheme an offense around them. And it's a little bit more like a college scheme. And I don't really like it too much. But if it works, it works. It worked with Carolina, obviously, with Joe Brady as their offensive coordinator. He's coming from LSU, so a college system. So that makes a lot of sense. It's funny how we just put that together. But Tudo with another $10 donation. I appreciate that, man. He says, Paisanos, if any business is not running well and hitting a bottom, it's the owners and management's fault. You can't blame it on the players for 6 and 10. Forget about it.
But we like that. We like this particular 6 and 10.
Yeah, we like this 6 and 10, and it is the owners and management. And I'll always blame them first before I even blame the player, because obviously their production is, I guess, graded on the management and owners. So my biggest gripe is with John Mara and Steve Tisch. Hopefully they have the patience to turn this thing around, because me and Hub have been saying it forever, man. They don't want to be the old Cleveland Browns where they just keep recycling guys and we just never reach our potential. So
and to get back to Waddle real quick, I love Jaylen Waddle. I don't want that to get misinterpreted. I love Jaylen Waddle. I in fact think he low-key might be better than Devonta Smith, because people really forget the true number one receiver of Alabama is Jaylen Waddle. Devonta only took over because Waddle got injured. That's not to say Devonta, is terrible, or Devonta wouldn't have some type of an electric season, but it's very much because Jaylen Waddle went down that he got so many, targets his way, right? Jaylen Waddle is extremely fast. I don't mind the height, because Odell is 5'11", and Odell is completely fine, at least when he's healthy. The thing is, I just don't know if he could translate to the outside. That's my only thing. Maybe he can. Maybe he's the Justin Jefferson of this receiver class that a lot of people said was the slot receiver, and he's doing fine on the outside. But that's the chance you got to take, right? That's always the chance.
Right, and you listen, I see Jay, and everybody keeps bringing back Odell. I already see in the comments. Odell was fine. Odell is a freak of nature. Like if people knew, because everybody thought Odell was going to be a slot receiver as well, but Odell, you could see it even on college. I'm like, how do you not see it that this guy's can play the outside? His catch radius is insane. His catch radius, and Jaylen Waddle, although his catch radius is good as well, I'm more equated to Sterling Shepard than I do Odell Beckham. Like Jaylen Waddle, I've said this before. Jaylen Waddle, and nobody likes to hear this, but I think it's the truth. Jaylen Waddle is Sterling Shepard, but Super Saiyan version. Like he does everything Sterling Shepard does, but just a hell of a lot better, right? His catch radius is a lot better, and all that. And we got our special guest in here, Christiana talking sports with the new background. Love it, man.
What up? What up?
Yeah. I was just doing my member stream. Otherwise, I would have came by earlier.
Yeah, no problem, man.
But yeah, man. Thanks for having me on. What are we talking about? Obviously, we're talking Giants, but what are we talking about?
Oh yeah, we're just talking about
Jaylen Waddle in particular.
Yeah, more so Jaylen Waddle, because we were talking about Curtis Samuel and the possibility of him coming here, but then you would have to still try to find your number one receiver. And would we take the chance in not getting a big-time receiver, just settling with Curtis Samuel and then waiting for the draft? But then it's like you might not get a Devonta Smith, Jamar Chase. You might be left with a Waddle. Although it's a good fit. I mean, it's a good pick. It just might not be the best fit for the Giants because it'll be adding like 2 more 5'10" wide receivers. But yeah, you get your thoughts on that.
Yeah, Curtis Samuel, I'm not in love with the idea of bringing him in. I do think it's a possibility, though. It's like one of those guys where I don't know if I'd be in favor with it, but I do think he's possible because Gettleman drafted him. We saw last year Gettleman drafted Bradbury, ended up signing him. He obviously has got ties there. He's versatile. Something that Joe Judge is looking for. He plays some running back. You can move him around. He's not strictly a slot guy. He's kind of a guy that you can move all around the offense. So he kind of fits in a way, and he'd be much more cost effective than some of these guys. We know that we may have a limited budget, so I do think he's a possibility. I'm not rooting for it, but if they go that now, what's the question? If they go that route, would I still take a wide receiver?
Yeah. How would you feel if they went Curtis Samuel, then went Jaylen Waddle, so like 2 smaller wide receivers instead of a big target that we pretty much want?
Well, here's the thing. And somebody just mentioned this to me in my member stream. None of these guys to me are big receivers. These top 3 guys. He's the smallest, but none of them are big. Like Chase is what, 6'2"?
6'2".
6'2", and the other guy's 6'1". And
my only thing with Waddle is I don't mind his size. My thing is he has the incredible speed. Can it translate to the outside? That's the only thing I'm wondering about him. That's the risk I think he would be taking.
I think it can. I think he can. From what I've seen, I think he's really good. I think people are going to disagree with me in my mock draft. I already know it. I'm not making my mock draft until after the Super Bowl, but I'm going to have Waddle going ahead of a lot of people. I think Waddle's going to impress at the combine.
He was Alabama's number 1 before.
I think Waddle might be the first wide receiver off the board.
It would make sense if you go. Guess what? It makes sense, especially if he goes to Miami, because Miami needs a slot. They don't need an outside.
Right.
Yeah.
You'll be right on that. Let me get these super chats real quick. Kid Green. I think this is a Ligma, but yeah, Kid Green says, Hub, can I get your autograph? Tana was not streaming. He was at the nearest strip club stripping. We hate Kid Blue. We want Kid Green, my guy.
First off, I need to know what video was this picture taken from? Obviously, the Eagles had a Photoshop on. What video?
I think that was my reaction video of the Eagles tanking that game to Washington. That I was just completely upset about. So I think it was that. That's what it looks like because I see the background. That's the only time I stand up. So
and Kid Green, my autograph doesn't exist, bro.
Yeah. Tudo with another super chat. He says, appreciate the $20 man or $19.99. Somebody told me to correct that and say the actual thing. But $19.99. He said, if there are any holes and weaknesses on any facets of our game, it's the owners and management job to detect them, address them, and fix them before the holes get any bigger and deeper. Tanner knows all about them. But I don't know if he was trying to get a different meaning out of that, but definitely I would say so. Owners and management are definitely at the end of the day most responsible. So But yeah, I would agree with you, Tana. I mean, we've seen it with Andrew Thomas, later on in the season, the college season, and in the NFL offseason, heading towards the draft, we see Andrew Thomas was the best guy in the beginning of those of the collegiate season, and then as time went on, Tristan Wirf started to go ahead of him in the mock draft.
You can't read too much into the
exactly.
Mocks. Can't read too much into the mocks.
I see it in every mock draft, and I don't hate on anybody that says this. I don't see a wide receiver going 3. Any of those wide receivers, I don't see him going 3. I can't see it. I can't see Waddle, I can't see Smith, and I can't see Chase going number 3. But I'm seeing it everywhere now. But
I'm gonna tell you right now, and maybe I'll be wrong. I agree with you. People kept saying in my stream tonight, they said there's gonna be 3 wide receivers going in the top 10. I don't think so. Now, last year, 4 offensive tackles went in the first 15 picks. That was the first time that happened forever. It was a rich tackle class. This is a rich receiver class. So maybe that'll be the case, but historically, wide receivers don't go in the top 10.
Right.
So even last year, like everybody said, we do this. We do mock drafts. CeeDee Lamb, top 5, top 6. Jerry Jeudy, top 5, top 6. They went like 15.
Yeah.
So I would be very surprised if all 3 go in the top 10 picks. I'd be very surprised.
Right. So I feel like we'll end up with 1. If we could end up with Smith, like I think realistically, the mock drafts don't favor that. Of course not at this point of the season. But I seriously think we're going to see like either Smith and Waddle available or Chase and Waddle available. I could see, like you said, I could see Waddle going first as well. I feel like Chase will probably go first. But, I mean, I think we'll have a good shot at a wide receiver in this draft.
One of those falling to us. One of those 3 is falling to us.
Yeah, I mean, last wide receiver to go top 10, even top 5, I think was Corey Davis. Before that, it was Mike Evans, and before that, Sammy Watkins, or maybe Mike Evans and Sammy Watkins won the same draft.
Amari Cooper went in 2015.
He was top 10?
Yeah, he was 4th overall.
When was the last time that 2 went in the top 10? That's what I want to know.
I don't think it's happened in a long time. I think it was 2014.
Watkins and Evans, I think, in 2014.
I think it was Watkins and Evans, because I think Evans was like the 7th or something like that. Because I know Odell was the 3rd guy taken. He was taken at 12.
That's why I'm like, 3 going in top 10, I can't see it. 2 maybe, but 3, I don't think, has it ever happened?
I'm going to tell you a possibility where it could happen. And I'm worried. By the way, I'm just curious. Do you guys see this? This is going to be my new, one of my subscribers made this for me.
Yeah, I saw it on Twitter.
Dope,
that's pretty fire.
What do you think?
It's pretty dope, man. I like it.
But here's the
red
thing.
sweater.
Yeah. But here's the thing that I think it's possible that it could screw us. If the Jets trade out, if the Jets say we're going to stick with Darnold and they trade out at 2 and they go down to 7, Carolina moves up, gets a quarterback, then I could see the Jets taking a wide receiver. I could see the Eagles taking a wide receiver. And maybe 3 go in the top 10. In that scenario, if the Jets trade out of 2 and to take a wide receiver, I don't think they'd take a wide receiver at 2, even if they weren't taking a quarterback. I think they'd take Penei Sewell. But if they traded down, that's a scenario I could see us getting screwed.
Wow. If the Jets are sticking with Sam Darnold, it would be stupid for them not to take Penei Sewell.
They should.
Like, even if they trade down, I
mean, they've got Mekhi Becton there, George Fant. I mean, they've got decent weapons there, so I can see if they do skip on Penei Sewell and do trade down. But I think you're right. I think the best move is to take Penei Sewell. But man, if they were to screw us like that, man, the Jets. I've been rooting for the Jets, man. No, don't make me hate them, man. I'm gonna start hating them. But man, I think the only time we've seen like consecutive wide receivers go out and draft, I think that was like 2016 draft. We saw Treadwell, Fuller, and Josh Doxson go consecutive picks like that. Man, that would suck.
Look at those 3 names, bro.
Oh my God, Will Fuller worked out, but the other 2. Oh.
You look at the teams in front of us, though. Dallas ain't taking a receiver. They're picking 10. They've got 3.
They got 3.
Denver ain't taking a receiver. They just took Judy. They got Cortland Sutton. They got KJ Hamler. They're picking 9. And who's 8? I think who's ever
Lions. Lions might take one if Galladay
Lions 8 or 7.
No, 7 is the Panthers.
Panthers are 7. Lions are 8. 6 is the Eagles. If we get past 8, we're going to get a wide receiver. Like, if there's a guy after 8, we're going to get a wide receiver, unless somebody trades up. But if it gets past 8, we'll get a wide receiver. I don't think either Dallas or Denver will take a wide receiver.
And listen, man, there's a possibility, and I don't listen. The Eagles are stupid. Howie Roseman cannot draft. He's just terrible at drafting, right? He drafted Derek Barnett when they didn't really even need a defensive end. So I hope that they fall in love with Patrick Surtain. They fall in love with Caleb Farley. I really like Caleb Farley. They fall in love with one of those two guys.
Farley.
I love Caleb, but man, he might be the first quarter taken. I hope they fall in love with him. Take him 6th overall, and that'll be another chance to grab a wide receiver. If the Giants somehow, some way, have the opportunity to take either Chase, Smith, or Waddle at 11, I don't know if this is going to happen, but if somehow, some way, other teams fall in love with other positions and decide not to go wide receiver, I think that would be amazing. If we could find a way to get Jamar Chase on this team, man. Oh man. That would be insane.
I would be upset. If those guys are gone, I wouldn't be upset with Caleb Farley.
Listen, if
Caleb
Jamar
Farley
Chase,
fits what we're trying to do. He's a press cover corner.
Mm-hmm.
If Jamar Chase ends up falling to 11, I would go crazy. I would.
Yeah, that brings me to a question. If you had all 3 receivers on the board, who would you guys take?
No question. I've been a Jamar Chase guy since like October. It's Chase for me.
Jamar Chase
all the way.
Yeah,
right now, you guys may disagree with me. Everybody's all about Devonta Smith. He's the Heisman. I got him 3rd at wide receiver of those 3. I've got Waddle.
I don't necessarily disagree, because the thing is, and like I said earlier, my mock draft it is up. It's no secret.
I'm not saying that's the order it's going to go in.
Right.
My personal rankings, and I love all of them. I got the other 2 above them.
Yeah, no, like it's no secret, because I let it be known for weeks now that I'm going with Devonta Smith, because I think he's going to be the one that drops or becomes available at 11. Partly because of that, I do think he's probably the 3rd receiver in the class, and also because of his weight, which is another thing. He definitely is going to need to add some pounds to his frame. Like 175, if you're not 6'1", if you're like 5'9" or 5'10", isn't bad, but at 6'1", it's a little bad. But the thing with Smith is it's not even an insult when you say like you think people are going to disagree with you, because all 3 of them are so good that it's just like Chase just happens to be the 3rd best one. Like that's what it is. Like, I mean, Smith just happens to be the 3rd best one. All 3 of them are really, really good receivers.
Yeah, it's not knocking them at all. Yeah, I agree with you. I am not upset if somebody has Waddle ahead, if somebody has Smith ahead or Chase ahead, and they mix up that order or whatever it is. I think it will be a good take, because all 3 of those guys you could see how possibly they could be the best receiver in the draft.
Devonta Smith to me, really good route runner, like really good route runner.
I'm muted. Really good route runner, but also this dude has probably the best. This is kind of weird. He gets up there, but he has some of the best fake outs. When he does the double move, I haven't seen anybody else, including Jamar Chase, who I love so much.
Yeah,
I haven't seen anybody do a double move better than Devonta Smith.
Yeah, Jamar Chase is that catch and traffic guy, the guy that no matter how pressed up he is, he's gonna find a way to catch the ball. That guy is a sure-handed dude, and that's something the Giants really need on this team right now. is a sure-handed dude that can catch the ball in traffic, and he could create separation as well. So I wouldn't mind any of those guys. I really wouldn't. We'll see what happens, man. But I really hope the Giants go. And since Tana's here, and I haven't really brought up this conversation. People hate when I bring it up, but Kyle Pitts, I'm not a huge Pitts guy at all. But I love bringing up the conversation because it's one to be had, right? Because if somehow, some way, like you said, I don't think it would happen. We don't think it would happen. Those 3 wide receivers go in the top 10, and the Giants, they don't want to go corner because they feel like they can address that somewhere else besides the first round. What would you say if the Giants went ahead and got Kyle Pitts? Say we got Allen Robinson. Or maybe we didn't get Allen Robinson. Maybe we got Allen Robinson.
No, KB, stop sugarcoating it. Just ask him, what do you think about drafting Kyle?
What do you think about Kyle Pitts, man? I'm trying to give him the best scenario.
Here's my opinion right now on Kyle Pitts. And first off, I think he's a great prospect. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's get that out of the way. Kyle Pitts is, I know I can see why people are hyped about him. He's 6'6", he's 250, he's a willing blocker. I think that's the right way to say it. I wouldn't say he's a great blocker.
Right,
he's a willing blocker. He could go up and catch the 50-50. He's a beast. He's going to be a very good tight end in the league. I think the best comparison is Waller. I hear that a lot, and I see a lot of Darren Waller in his game.
Yeah.
So I like him a lot. But here's why I think Giants fans are in love with him. This is just my philosophy. I think Giants fans are looking at these mocks right now, and they're saying, oh, these 3 receivers are off the board. Yeah, they're all going in the top 10. Waddle ain't going to get to us. I need to find a prospect I'm going to fall in love with. And Giants fans are so desperate to get a weapon that they see this monstrous tight end, even though it's not a wide receiver, and it's probably not the biggest area of need right now for this football team, even though he's a great weapon, and I'm not going to cry if we end up with him. But I think they're forcing themselves to fall in love with a prospect. Kind of like they fall. He's the Isaiah Simmons of this year's draft.
Yeah.
Last year, Isaiah, you heard it. I heard it on my channel. I'm sure you guys heard it on yours. He's going to be the next Lawrence Taylor. Isaiah Simmons is, But I think all of us knew deep down, well, not all of us, but a lot of us knew deep down they were going tackle. They needed to go tackle.
Yeah.
Do I think Alpitz will be a Giant? No. Do I think that he'd be the do I want them to take him? No. I would much sooner take a corner if all 3 wide receivers are gone. Do I think it's a possibility? Sure.
And that kind of relates to Sabrina's question. She was like, "What's the best player available if it comes to that?" It's probably going to be a corner. Like if it comes to that at 11.
If Farley somehow is available, I don't see how you don't take him, because Farley putting him at number 2 reminds me a lot of Byron Murphy. Putting him at number 2 would be best situation. Like Byron Murphy was in the best situation with Arizona. He wasn't coming in being a number 1 guy. Patrick Peterson is there. He had the time to sort of adjust and play lesser competition at that number 2 spot. I think Caleb Farley would be perfect playing at number 2, alongside with James Bradbury there. So I wouldn't mind that, man.
And don't forget that super chat.
Oh yeah,
get Tudo.
Yeah, Tudo back in the building. He says, we would definitely need wide receiver 1, tight end 1, or running back 1, and
please tell me that's a mistype.
And a game changer edge rusher who can stay healthy and play the whole season in order to win games. Tana said so. Forget about it.
I agree with everything except for the running back 1.
Well, here's what I'm gonna say. I think everybody is forgetting about Saquon Barkley.
I think
my video today was literally that.
People are like, we gotta sign a weapon. There's subscribers on my channel that say we've got to sign a top end wide receiver. We got to draft one in the first. We got to draft one in the second. Somebody said take Fairmute, the tight end, in the second, and draft a wide receiver and sign a wide receiver. Guys, if we get Jaylen Waddle, or if we sign Allen Robinson, let's just say it's Allen Robinson. Let's throw him in there. Allen Robinson, Sterling Shepard in the slot, Slayton on the outside, Saquon Barkley at the running back position. That's enough. Like, I'm not saying we can't use more, but there's other needs on this football team, and people are forgetting about Saquon Barkley. This offense didn't have Barkley all year. He might be one of the top 3 or 4 weapons in all of football. Like, he's that good.
I think people, to your point, Tina, I think people legitimately forgot about Saquon, like that he was on the team still. I legit think that, because everything I hear is that, oh my God, we need to sign Wayne Gallman back right now. Like, he needs to be our running back. And I'm like, have you guys forgot what Saquon Barkley can do and the fact that he's coming back next season? I think people are just already like try to accept the fact that Saquon Barkley is not a New York Giant anymore for whatever reason. Like, he's still going to be on the team next year.
We said it all season when people were hyping up Wayne Gallman. I'm like, y'all really forgot who Saquon
and
Barkley
was. They're just ready to trade him.
Yeah,
they're just ready to trade him.
Y'all really forgot. Yo, Wayne Gallman has a couple good games, which is what a backup at any position is supposed to do. Come in and have a couple good games. I'll repeat, Wayne had a couple good games. It was only a couple. Yeah. Not necessarily his fault that it wasn't a nice, consistent stretch. That's not the point. Y'all really forgot who Saquon was. Or y'all really forgot like half of Wayne's runs with that blocking is going to the house with Saquon. Y'all really forgot what this man did with a terrible offensive line his rookie year. And then there's the injury prone label, which is also, starting to be thrown on Daniel Jones, where I'm like, listen, when you got an offensive line that's getting you tackled in the backfield and what you've become known for is being a guy who has to get out of tackles in the backfield, it's a problem. You're going to get injured. I wouldn't call them injury. You're going to get hit a lot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And to that point about Saquon, somebody mentioned it over there. Imagine, because Daniel Jones was not running read option. Like, they didn't really throw that in there while Saquon was there. Even going back to last year, they didn't do any of that with Pat Shermer, run those like specific read option plays with Daniel Jones that he was doing with Wayne Gallman. You think about the defenders early on in the season, they weren't scared of Wayne Gallman per se. So and Daniel Jones was still having success. Think about if Saquon Barkley is in the backfield running that read option with Daniel Jones, Saquon's going to grab all the attention. As much guys that are in the box is going to go all the way to Saquon, and then Daniel Jones is going to be able to have a lot of more success too, whether he wants to keep it or run that play action bootleg that he does so well. So people have to keep that in mind. Daniel Jones is going to get a lot better too if Saquon Barkley comes back healthy.
Guys, the numbers don't lie. Daniel Jones for his career. Okay, how many interceptions did he throw this year? I don't even know off the top of my head. He threw 10?
10 or 11, one out of the two.
I think he 10. I think 11 touchdowns, 10, and his first year he threw 12. So Daniel Jones, I'm gonna give you the numbers right now. He's had 10 starts with Saquon Barkley in the lineup. Mm-hmm. He's had 16 starts without Saquon Barkley in the lineup because of injuries. Missed 3, and 3 of his 9 starts his first year, and 13 of his 14 starts this year. He didn't really play in the second game. He got hurt right away. Mm-hmm. In the 10 starts that Saquon Barkley's in the lineup. And it's not just scheme dependent. That's the first thing people say. Oh, it must be the Sherman scheme. He missed 3 games without him in the Sherman scheme. In 10 games with Saquon Barkley in the lineup, Daniel Jones has 23 touchdowns and 8 interceptions. In the 16 games without Saquon Barkley, Daniel Jones has 12 touchdowns in 16 games. 6 more games, he's got 12 touchdowns compared to 23. He's got 12 touchdowns and 12 plus 22 minus 8, 14 interceptions. 12 touchdowns, 14 interceptions in 16 games without Barkley, 23 touchdowns and 8 interceptions with Barkley. In the Pat Shurmur scheme, when Barkley didn't play, he had 3 touchdowns and 6 picks in the 3 games he didn't play. In the 9 games he did play, he had 21 touchdowns and 6 picks in the Pat Shurmur scheme. Anybody who doesn't think that Saquon Barkley has a big impact in the passing game is lost. Even if Saquon Barkley is getting stuffed. This year, Daniel Jones' best game as a New York Giant came in terms of yardage, came against the Pittsburgh Steelers week 1. The best defense in football. Daniel Jones threw from nearly 20% of his touchdowns in that game for the year. He threw 2, and he had the most yardage of any game all year in terms of throwing the football. It's the only game that Saquon Barkley played start to finish. Having Barkley in your lineup
held up too
opens everything up.
Yeah, and that was a game that Saquon was completely bottled up.
But they game planned to stop Saquon and opened up the passing game.
Exactly.
Yeah, and not only that, I think people are forgetting that Saquon Barkley, I think it was last year, he led the whole team in receptions for 91 receptions.
KB, remember what I said earlier? One of the players that compares best to Barkley was Kamara when we were making our argument for the Giants to sign Mark Ingram. That would be a great 1-2 punch. I mean, what does Kamara do a lot? Catch the ball. People forget that Saquon could catch the ball. They're really forgetting who he is. And I see somebody you mentioned earlier that he's working out with Odell. That was actually my vid today was Saquon's workout with Odell. They're trained together because they both got the ACL tear, and the fact that people are forgetting about Saquon. Any Giants fan that's angry about that, you're angry about nothing. It's just 2 really good athletes working out, and it's no secret that Saquon and Odell have had a really good relationship since he's entered the league.
People
that's just what it is.
That he's working out with Odell?
Giants fans.
Yeah, because they feel like he's disrespecting the Giants, and he shouldn't have anything to do with Odell.
I don't even like Odell. I don't care less.
Right. I don't understand.
What I will say, and I mentioned it in that video, Saquon mentioned, it'd be great if we could get a guy like Bud Dupree, who also has an ACL tear working out with us. And I'm like, Saquon's playing chess. He's trying to recruit Bud Dupree.
Yeah, I would.
But Bud Dupree's not going to be able to play to start the year.
Right.
But if you could get him on because of the injury, a $14-15 million deal, sign me up. I'll take that.
Yeah, and on top of that, if you pay him the $14-15 million a year, you're paid by game checks. I don't even think he will get those. I don't even think he will get paid most of this year. I don't think he'll be paid just to sit on the couch, right? Unless the guaranteed money would kick in, but you don't get game checks if you're not playing, right? So I think that would be good if the Giants could sign up Bud Dupree. But I want to get to the super chat before Max Webster leaves or something like that. So Max Webster, thank you so much for the super chat. He says Rousseau or Pitts, who do you take? I'm going to start real quick because I hate Gregory Rousseau as a prospect. I think this guy is a day 2, day 3 dude. I don't like Gregory Rousseau
day 3. Come on, now you're pushing. Day 3.
I think, dude, early fourth round, I could see him going early fourth, man. No joke. I don't like Gary Russo. I think he's all potential. I think he has zero explosiveness. I don't know if the coaches make him play contain every single game, but he doesn't bull rush for jack squat. All right, he's bigger than most of the freaking tackles he's up against and just bullied around. I don't like Gregory Rousseau. I think he's a prospect guy. He's a guy that is like how Tack McKinley was looked at, a guy that has all the physical attributes and it just looked at a potential standpoint. I don't like Gregory Rousseau at all. And maybe I was over exaggerating with day 3, but damn, I don't like him anywhere near where the Giants are picking. But I'd say Pitts, obviously. But
I don't like Rousseau either. I'm not gonna go as far as you. But I don't like Rousseau at 11 for sure. If I was gonna take, I would take Pay over him. Quiddy Pay from Michigan, but I'm not a big Rousseau guy either. From everything that I've seen and heard from people that have talked about him, it seems like you said way too big of a risk to be taken that early. I would have Pitts ranked above him, but what my answer would be is probably neither, because there'd probably be somebody else there that I like more than both of those prospects.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm basically the same with you guys. Just because I don't think Rousseau really should go in the first, I'm gonna have to lean with Pitts. Ideally, trade down if that's really your two choices. Just trade down.
Rashad Bateman.
But
yeah,
but that
Bateman.
Wouldn't be the only two choices, because
it wouldn't.
Let's do the math. 3 quarterbacks are at least going in the top 10, right?
I'd say so. Yeah. Zach Wilson. Oh yeah. If people love Mac Jones, could be 4.
But we'll say
Trey Lance. Trey Lance too.
Yeah. 3 quarterbacks going in the top 4. 3. Let's just play the game and say that 3 wide receivers go in the top 10. That's 6. Penny Sewell's going in the top 10. That's 7.
Michael Parsons.
Parsons is 8. So if all those guys went, there's only 2 more picks. I mean, let's say Farley goes, and let's say, who did I leave out?
Surtain, maybe?
Surtain.
Or Pitts. Pitts may go.
Pitts was in the hypothetical.
Oh, yeah.
So if Surtain went, maybe then you would be left with those 2 guys. I'm trying to, maybe. God, you could
go the second ranked tackle, who's the guy also out of Virginia Tech. I'm forgetting his name.
Rashawn Slater. No,
that's not Slater. I think it's like Darisaw or something out of Virginia Tech.
Oh, he's getting some. He's getting
steam.
Yeah, he's getting some steam. But yeah. Listen, I love Caleb Farley, but you also have to ask the question: should you just at that point? All your guys are off the board. Do you want to go Pitts? I'd probably say, what do you guys think about just trading down and going like Rashad Bateman?
I don't mind it.
I'd be okay with taking Pitts there. If all that was gone, which I don't think will be the case. I'd be okay.
I'm 100% for trading down if you can and still snagging Rashad Bateman.
If there's a good deal, you do it.
Yeah,
but I'd be okay with taking Pitts in that spot.
And Kid Green has a pretty good comparison here. Rousseau is 100% the AJ Epineza of this draft, in my opinion.
Yeah, the AJ Epineza, because
he's a much better athlete than Epineza, though.
He is in terms of where he started off as being the number 1 ranked pass rusher, dropping down, and also both of them were super developmental.
I cannot
Epineza, he ran like a 5.2 40, didn't he?
Yeah, he was so slow. Yeah,
he ran like a slower 40 than like Andrew Thomas.
Yeah, he is definitely not in the right generation of pass rushers, man. Maybe back in the day, he would last early 2000s. And the pass rushers were a little slower. Not now. They're all extremely freak athletes. Josh Valencia. Thanks for the $2 super chat. He says Saquon is still in the league. JK. Yeah, as a Miami Dolphin fan, probably you may not have heard of Saquon Barkley. Yeah. Well, appreciate that.
Get to know him. He's coming back this year. Get to know him.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Get to know. I just hope he's able to prove everybody wrong and stay healthy this year. Prove that he's not injury prone. I don't believe he's that. But prove he's not injury prone. And have a fantastic year, man. And listen, we're going to get some weapons this year. As much as people don't believe it, as much as Dave Gettleman has neglected the wide receiver position in his time with the Giants, I still feel like the Giants this year are going to get something done in the wide receiver position, whether that be free agency. Like there's too many avenues to screw this up, right? You have the high tier wide receivers. You've got the average tier wide receivers, that your Curtis Samuels, like maybe you could put Will Fuller. I didn't think you put Will Fuller in like elite conversation. You could try to.
Will Fuller is elite, but he's never on the field.
Right, exactly. So I guess like as far as contract goes, exactly. And then you have other guys in there like Corey Davis's and stuff like that. You have that tier of
he's
receivers.
With Samuel.
He's with Samuel. He's in that tier. Then you have your high tier with Kenny Golladay, Allen Robinson, and then you have the draft with the high tier guys, the 3 high tier guys, and then you have later on in the draft, you got guys like Rashad Bateman and Nico Collins, and you got so many different avenues.
I think people are forgetting how deep this wide receiver draft class
is. Yeah,
like,
you can go out and draft Terrace Marshall in the second round.
You could take one in the first, and then you can wait till the 5th and still get probably a pretty good wide receiver prospect if you want to double up. Like, you don't have to go first and second round. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah. There's so many avenues to get a wide receiver here. I don't think Dave Gettleman can possibly screw this up. We're gonna get guys on this roster.
Anybody that's worried about Dave Gettleman not taking a weapon, listen. Dave Gettleman's job and legacy depends on Daniel Jones.
Oh,
what does Daniel Jones need more than anything? He needs a wide receiver. Last year, what did he need more than anything? He needed a left tackle. He's going to get him a wide receiver. I promise you. I'm not going to guarantee you it's going to be the right one. But he's going to draft him a wide receiver. I promise.
He's going to get him weapons. I mean, the fact that both him and Mara said we're going to get playmakers should be a sign enough.
Yeah. He's going to get you a wide receiver.
I hope so, man. I really do hope so. And I hope it's just not guys that, we get like the scraps of, and we still settle and we get him for high draft. I mean, like a high contract or whatever the case may be, spending $10 million to $11 million on like a Corey Davis or something like that, and he just sucks, that would be our luck, but I don't think it would be. I think Dave Gettleman knows what he's doing. He'll get it done.
Yeah.
But
I'm looking forward to it.
yeah, I'm really.
Dave does first this year.
Yeah, I'm really. Oh yeah, I want to get your thoughts too, Tana. I think right before you popped in, we were talking about Leonard Floyd. I don't know if you were able to talk about that. What are your thoughts on Leonard Floyd? He had a really good season this year. Two guys I like in this year's edge rusher class that I think, and I don't know how they're going to spend their money. Okay. But if I was going to bring somebody in from the edge rusher, everybody's going to say Shaq Barrett. That's fantasy land. You're up in the clouds. We're not paying. Yeah, 20. Yeah.
I think Floyd fits the system very well. I said it today in my video. And if he's in that $12 to $14 million range, he's a guy I might have some interest in. He's got some upside. We almost drafted him in 2016. But the guy that I talked about in my video that I think is a cost-effective guy that not a lot of people are talking about because he's older, but I think you could get him on a 2-year deal. He was 6th in the NFL last year in what's the stat that PFF does in terms of shedding, blockers, whatever it's called. Justin Houston. I don't think anybody's talking about him because he's 32. But if you could get him on a 2-year deal, he fits the scheme. Maybe you could get out after $9, $10 million a year. Had 8 sacks last year. That's a guy I might be interested in. That's kind of a mid-tier guy because I don't think we're gonna have the budget to sign those $20 million guys. And I like short-term contracts.
I agree with you as well. And with a $2 million contract, it shows that they're not really that committed to him, and he's not really the future. So I wouldn't mind that at all.
Isn't Houston more of a 4-3 kind of hand in the dirt guy though?
No.
He played OLB this
year. Yeah. I mean, you don't really necessarily need to throw him out in coverage. It's just where they line up really when he's playing outside. He'll still put his hands in the dirt. You look at Terrell Suggs. He didn't pass cover at all. Another name to throw out there that is a little bit of a name that we know that's a little bit of a smaller name, but had a good season this year is Romeo Akwara. I love this guy.
We should have never let him go.
I was pissed off we let him go, him and Devon Kennard, but I was pissed off more so of Akwara because of how cheap we could have him and the production. I think he finished the season with 10 sacks this year, somewhere around there. He had a really good season, and he's a guy that may start wanting, in the beginning of contract talks, may ask for top tier money. At the end of the day, I don't think he'll get that much. What do you guys think about bringing back in Romeo Akwara for, 10 mil, 11 mil?
I mean, 10, 11.
Going back to your ex?
I mean, I don't mind bringing him in, but 10-11, right? I mean, obviously, it's pretty cheap compared to the top edge rushers.
Right.
Do I want to pay him 10-11 though? Like, it would be so cool if we just kept him. We wouldn't be worrying about this. I don't know if I want to pay him 10-11, even though that's technically cheap. It's like, man, it's 1 year, right? And I think even Detroit is not even soloing him yet. They're gonna still try and see what the Akwara brothers, both of them, could do. Man, not for 10-11.
I trust Patrick Graham enough to be able to scheme pressure. Like this year, we still had 40 sacks. That I don't think we need to put a heavy premium on the edge rusher.
Thank you that you said that, because I've been saying I think we could. I think we could survive this year without an edge rusher. I've been saying that.
I want to draft one, but I don't want to draft one in the first 2 rounds.
I'd agree with that.
I would like to draft one in the third. I think the Giants. I think they're going to draft very well. I think that's going to be the hot spot for the edge this year. I think they're going to take one. I think it's going to be in the 3-4 range, and I think they're going to find one that they know fits their scheme very well. That's the way I think they're going to do it, and that's what I've thought for a while now with the Giants. And maybe I'll be wrong, but I don't think so. It's a very thin draft class, and they don't have the type of defense that prioritizes the edge. It's through scheme. It's through blitzing. Well, to be able to blitz, you need good corner play. And that's why I've been so outspoken about coverage, So I think that's, if they're going to go defense early, that's where I think they're headed. Coverage.
Yeah, I would prefer, like you said, Tin. I don't want to draft the edge rusher early, but I also don't really want to draft anymore in the mid rounds to late rounds anymore, because we just been getting too much of those guys, Lorenzo Carter, O'Shane, Jimenez. A bunch of these guys out there that I want. If we're gonna draft a guy, I want top tier talent, but there's obviously none of that in this draft. So I really want to hit that edge rusher position in free agency. You got some options out there. There are a bunch of options. Even if you want to go with like Hassan Reddick, I know a lot of people don't like that name. I like Hassan. He's had a really good year since he's been a full-time pass rusher. He fits it perfectly. And if he's used how he was used last year in particular, because he's a guy that was thrown out all around. He was he was Isaiah Simmons before Isaiah Simmons, thrown out everywhere. And they tried to experiment with him, but it didn't work out. First year that he plays, full-time pass rusher, he did pretty well. So I wouldn't mind bringing him in. Like we mentioned Akwara, you mentioned Justin Houston, Leonard Floyd. I think the Giants need to sign one of these guys, man. I don't think they necessarily need to, but I think it'll be a huge upgrade to the team. My guy is Leonard Floyd for sure. I mean,
what would you do? You got to let one of the two walk then, Dalvin Tomlinson or
yeah, that's still a predicament. If we're gonna sign an edge rusher like Leonard Floyd, and like you said, we don't really need top tier guys to rush the passer. Maybe I keep Dalvin, and
I'm telling
keep Leonard Floyd instead.
We can survive another year without one of these guys. We really can.
We could, but I mean, are we ever going to get another free agency year where we see this much talent at pass rusher, at edge rusher in particular? There's not really all the time.
I think you will.
In past years, you see a lot of guys that are much older in those in free agency. Now we see a lot of younger guys like Hassan Reddick and Leonard Floyd and guys like that.
I do think we will, and I think we'll definitely see a better draft class in terms of the edge moving forward.
I hope so. I hope so. Yeah, this is the worst edge rushing draft class I've ever seen. I mean, you might not see a edge rusher taken. You might see one taken in the top 15. There's a possibility you don't see any taken in the top 15. Because you got Kwity Paye and Gregory Rousseau as your best guys, and those are borderline top 15 guys, right? I don't think Gregory Rousseau is good at all. But we get the super chat. Robbie, thank you so much for the $5 super chat, my friend. He says, I'm hoping Garrett doesn't limit this offense next season. Getting Saquon back, a number one, and moving Shepard back to the slot should be good enough. Yeah, I think this team isn't missing that much but a wide receiver, honestly. I mean, the offensive line hasn't been great, but it's going to be enough to get by next season. I definitely think they need a lot more development, but I'm not too worried about it. I just think Daniel Jones needs someone to throw to. That's pretty much it.
If you get him a legitimate wide receiver one, it's also going to make Barkley ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like if they can't put 8 in the box and this offense,
if they have to commit somebody, oh my God,
it's lights out.
And even if they still put in the box with a legit number one, that means that legit number one is gonna get open.
I'm telling you right now, with an improved offensive line, you get a weapon on the outside, and you have a healthy Saquon Barkley. That's enough. I'm not telling you I wouldn't. Of course, the more the merrier.
Yeah.
But I think Shepard's good in the slot. I think Shepard's so underrated. I
freaking love Sterling Shepard. Yeah.
And the other thing I think people are discounting is if you get a bona fide number one, which if you do the draft, maybe they won't be, or at least right away. But if you get a bona fide number one, if these guys are legit, that's going to make Darius Slayton better too. Like Darius Slayton's no longer going to get the double coverage. He's no longer going to get the best corner. He's going to be a better player. So I think if you get that number one, you get Barkley back. There's no excuses for this not to be at least a league average offense.
Yeah, and I think a big key to that, and I hate mentioning this name, but Evan Ingram. I think a big key to that we have him for at least one more year to see, with a number one option with Saquon Barkley coming back. Evan Ingram, we don't even need to throw him the ball. He could just be a guy out there to distract other guys. Get attention from linebackers and open up the middle because of his speed. I mean, there are so many playmakers on this team that if they were all healthy, this would be a top tier offense. It doesn't matter who you really have at quarterback. I mean, in my honest opinion. So it would be one of those offenses there. Tudo with another super chat. He says, thank you for the $10 super chat. He says, my grandfather, my father, they've been Giants fans all their lives, and they're saying they would go wherever Dana goes all the way. We say forget about it.
Tudo's the man.
Oh,
Tudo, man. Love you, buddy, man. I'll be calling the Knick game tomorrow, Tudo. Hopefully I see you over there. But they're playing at 10 o'clock. I haven't done one of those late streams.
What? They play at 10 o'clock?
West Coast.
So that's why. They're not giving Knicks prime time. Come on now.
They're playing the Warriors.
So. Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens here.
Let's go.
Yeah.
3 in a row. Let's go.
Oh, yeah. Let's try to get 3 in a row. Lax in the building. Welcome to the stream, Lax. I don't think I've seen you all stream. He says, that is why I don't want them to bring in Curtis Samuel. I think Shep is great in the slot, and they don't need to take snaps away from him. Well, yeah, I'd agree with that. I think Shepard is extremely underrated. Like you said, I want to see Shepard used like how 2017 Shepard was used, like in the slot, and he was like a deep threat. He was like a guy that he hit you on a double move in the slot, a quick little stop and go in the slot up the seam, and he was gone. Like Eli used him to his highest potential, and it seems like they just forgot about Sterling Shepard. They made Sterling Shepard a 3 to 5 yard guy. To run a quick little hitch in the slot.
They confined him to like this stereotype that he's not.
They confined him to just a dump off guy, as if he's at the tail end of his career and he lost his step and he's just a guy that just to gain you some yards for the third, a third and short or something like that. Sterling Shepard still has a lot in the tank and doesn't have like. I lost the ability to call him a wide receiver 1, but he can be a solid wide receiver 2, man. And they're just not using him to the best of his potential.
I like Shepard a lot. And like I said, I think when you get Barkley back, it changes everything. Like everybody looks at Garrett, but they took away what the offense was going to revolve around. Get Barkley back, get a weapon. I think it makes Garrett better. I think it makes Jones better. I think it makes every player in that offense better. You get the most dynamic player in football at the running back position, and you go out and get a legitimate number 1 wide receiver. It changes the entire offense. And I do think Garrett was limited this year. I'm not saying he's perfect. I'm not saying I'm in love with Garrett. But I do think he could orchestrate a good offense if you get him talent. And people look at Wayne Gallman, and yeah, but he's not Saquon Barkley. Like teams don't game plan for Wayne Gallman.
Right.
Teams. The reason Wayne Gallman probably had success is because teams were like, well, we're going to take Daniel Jones' arm away. They don't have Barkley anymore. We'll give up the 3 or 4 yards on the ground every time Gallman touches the ball.
Yeah.
They didn't put 8 in the box like they did with Barkley. You get Barkley in here, you force those defenses to pay extra attention there. It's going to open up the passing game. And then if you get a high-end wide receiver and they can't stack the box, Barkley's going to beast and feast. The offense is going to be really good next year if Barkley is healthy.
Yeah, I completely agree, man. Barkley's the key there, man. I can't wait till he comes back so we can shut everybody's mouths, man, because everybody wants to trade him. Everybody wants to like get rid of him, and then we still now more than ever we're just hearing 2018 draft talk again for whatever reason, as if we were back in 2018 all about hindsight. All about hindsight that we should have done this, we should have done that. So I just want Barkley to prove all the doubters wrong.
I'm going to tell you right now, he's going to have a greater comeback than Adrian Peterson did off of his ACL.
Whoa, that's a hot take right there. I think Adrian Peterson literally won MVP that year, didn't he?
Yeah,
okay. Well, Barkley, I'm not saying in terms of winning MVP.
Were you smoking ganja before the show?
Maybe. I'm not saying in terms of winning MVP, but I am saying, like, with the way people are treating him right now, it was way more disrespectful than what they did for AP. Like, nobody is like, the way the story is right now is like, nobody's expecting him to come back to be good at all.
Right.
Like, this dude's gonna come back. He's gonna be a 1,500-yard rusher, in my opinion.
Dude, if he comes back that way, and listen, by the way, guys, I just seen Logan. I'll put that in the chat. Yeah, like up the stream if you guys haven't already. Appreciate that, guys.
Logan's got great shades.
Oh yeah. Logan's all, dude. Logan's one of the funniest guys on those call-ins, man. Funniest dude. Dude looks like he's going through a midlife crisis at 11 years old, man. Yeah. He's just depressed. He's defeated. He's done. But I completely forgot what I was gonna say. What we were just talking about.
Barkley.
Oh, Barkley.
What, you don't even need to go back to AP, bro. Dalvin Cook came back and he was amazing.
But Dalvin Cook, I mean, that took like third time to charm because he was never able to finish the season. But as far as Saquon Barkley goes, you look at this offensive line, although it hasn't been great, they've been, and of course we got to look for another offensive line coach that may hinder us a little bit, but they've been really good in the run game, especially on the interior, opening up holes. I'm watching them on film, and it's nothing I've ever seen before from the Giants in a while. The way they've been pulling their guards, getting kind of complicated with their blocking schemes, I mean, and opening up multiple avenues for running backs to run through is a running back's dream. And before Saquon Barkley went down, that was not happening. So I think with Saquon coming back and hopefully at full strength, and with the offensive line picking up where they left off last year, it should help Barkley in uncountable ways, man. Especially if he's able to have multiple areas to run through where he's not forced to bounce it outside like he's always been doing, and having to make his own running lanes, and having the risk of being tackled 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage because he keeps dancing around. If you give Barkley a clear hole to run through, think about, like, Rashad Jennings was never a great running back for us, right? Never fantastic. But towards the end of the season, when that offensive line started coming back, I remember, like, in the final, every year we had Rashad Jennings, he would lead the NFL in rushing yards in the last 6 games of the season all the time. And because the offensive line would just open up the freaking floodgates, he would just run right through. We need to create that for Saquon.
To put a bow on the topic, he's going to be fine.
Yes, he's going to be fine. He's going to be fine, guys. Relax.
I'm excited for Saquon because, quite honestly, I am sick and tired. And you know what? I could understand where the trade talk comes from. I get it, right? He's got to earn that contract. He hasn't earned it yet. I don't want to extend him yet. He's got to prove it. He's got to prove he can stay healthy. He's got to prove that he's a major impact in terms of winning football games. But I am sick and tired of people saying, let's trade this guy. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding? First off, you're going to get pennies on the dollar. He's coming off an ACL tear, so let's just get that out of the way.
Right. Thank you.
But people don't understand the impact that this guy has on the offense because they just look at the stats. They say, oh, he got stuffed. He couldn't do that. Yeah, look at Daniel Jones, how he performed when Saquon Barkley's in the lineup.
Even in the game 1, he threw 2 touchdowns.
Even if Barkley's not producing on the stat sheet, it opens up everything else. Okay, it's almost like having a decoy, right? If everybody's got to pay all the attention to Barkley, he's gonna be able to throw the football at a much higher rate, like he did in his rookie year. You're gonna see bigger plays, and it's gonna help the red zone offense, right? He was so bad in the red zone this year. Maybe something that had to do with the fact that Saquon Barkley wasn't in the lineup, wasn't a threat. So I think having Barkley back is going to help this team so much more than people think.
And if he is back and he's healthy and he stays healthy, I've said this since May. I'm going to continue saying it. I'm going to continue to look crazy. He will be the reason that we win Super Bowl 56. I said it
I hope so, man.
May of last year, I've been saying that.
Hey, Taylor, he's on the ganja. He's on the ganja.
It's because of fans like you, Hub, that I got to calm people down midseason. It's because of fans like you, Hub, that by week 8, week 9, I say, guys, you should have went into the season realistic. You guys were talking Super Bowl. You guys were talking playoffs. Calm down, Hub.
Listen.
It's hard
Calm
not
down,
to, Hub.
Hub.
I understand. It's hard not to.
No. Listen. Everything has gone according to my plan so far. You know what I'm saying? We took Andrew Thomas. You know what I'm saying? We started building the offensive line. We had a very rebuild-esque year in terms of a team starting to show improvement with a 6-10 record, with a team that really had a potential to win 7 or 8 games. It's all according to plan. We're gonna be in the playoffs next year. But no. Saquon will run us to the Super Bowl, number 56.
Listen, man.
I've been saying it since May, bro. Since May.
Stay
And
away from the weed.
if it doesn't come true, then I will eat crow. But since I've been like, the reason I'm so like whatchamacallit on it, so like hard on it right now is because people have been holding me to that every now and again. They'd bring up that old video that I have, and I'm like, all right, I'll stick with it.
Let's just make the playoffs.
Let's
just make the playoffs.
To be honest, guys, as the heartbreak, the ups and downs we went through in this season as Giants fans and watching New York Giants, has this season not gone according to plan and what we've been saying early on? It has. I mean, a lot of people had it. I think Tana, you had him going 6-10, right?
Yeah.
And you even said at 6-10, that's nothing to be ashamed about. That's it's a rebuilding year. It's development. The Giants did exactly that. They went 6-10. They're right on schedule to what we thought they were going to be in the future last year.
Not what the experts said. The experts
said
2 wins, 3 wins.
Right. They said 2 wins, 3 wins around that range, right? We felt like this team at 6-10 would be exactly where we want them, and then next year that they will be in competition mode. They will be in competition for a spot. Now with the 7th seed opening up, now the Giants even have a better chance of making the playoffs. So for everybody that's worried, this is all going to plan so far. I mean, it sucks actually seeing your team going 6-10, because I felt like people were okay hearing 6-10 because we went 4-12 the previous year. It felt like people were okay hearing that in the beginning of the year, but they started to get discouraged when it actually happened because they don't want to see actual losses, right? They always say, "Oh yeah, I feel like the Giants will go 6-10. It would be a good year." Then you see them losing 10 times, and you're like, "Damn, this team sucks. Fire everybody." Right. You got to stick with the plan. This is exactly what was supposed to happen. All right, so the Giants are going to be okay.
It's common sense, but it's why it's so hard to rebuild in New York, because fans are impatient, fans are demanding,
and the media's impatient.
Fans want to win, but it's common sense. And I'll be the first to say we should have started the rebuild in 18. We didn't, but you can't go back in the DeLorean like I always say. We started it in 19. We knocked it all down. When you knock it all down, you're not going to win a lot of football games,
right?
Okay. You expect growth. You expect the team to get progressively better, and we got that. And I'll go a step further to say 6 wins last year, in my opinion, is even better than a 2-game improvement, because look at the schedule we played in 2019.
I said that.
Once again, we were a 6-win team that could have won 9.
We were a 6-win team.
The schedule that we had.
And I'm going to tell you what, that 2019 team, if they played this schedule, they might have won 2 games. 2 games.
Yeah, they would have been in competition for Trevor Lawrence.
they beat up on a horrible Washington team.
Mm-hmm.
The Washington team this year was much better. They beat up on a horrible Washington team twice. They beat the Dolphins, who were trying to tank for Tua,
and got lucky against the Bucs.
They missed 3 field goals. And every other game, look at the scores. Go back and look at the scores when you got free time. We didn't just lose; we got destroyed. When we played pretty good teams. We lost by 14 points, 17 points, 20 points.
Mm-hmm.
We played good teams this year. We lost by 2 points to the Bucs. We lost by 8 points. It could have went to overtime against the Rams. Could have beat the Bears on the last drive. We played with good teams this year. And we beat the teams we were supposed to beat.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what do you complain? I mean, I know that you want to win 16 games as a Giant fan, but if you're a reasonable Giant fan, what are you complaining about? The team built. The team got better. Next year, you want them to get better and continue to build. To me, and everybody thinks differently, but my mindset is I want to be the New England Patriots. Mm-hmm. I want to be the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I know that to get to there, it's not built in a day. When you're as bad as we were, when you were in a situation as bad as we were in, you got to be patient. You got to let them build it properly, and you got to let it come along slowly. And you hope if they do it the right way, you're going to have sustained success for a decade. But you got to let it play out, and you got to let them get to where it needs to get.
KB, I just got to say, I'm going to have to dip out in like a minute or 2.
Oh, yeah.
Can't do it.
What happened?
I'm not letting you do it.
Yeah, you're not allowed to, man.
Yeah. Now I got an early morning, so I'm gonna have to dip out soon.
Yeah, it's all good, man. I'll probably end the stream. It's about 11:25. I'll end the stream here then. But yeah, I completely understand what you're saying, Tana. Like if anybody still is discouraged about the New York Giants, just look at last year. That's all I gotta tell you. Just look at last year, where the position this team and the direction this team was going last year, and just look at the turnout. Not only did you get a 2-win, you got 2 more wins. You got 2 more wins with a season like no other. 2020 was a train wreck. Okay, no training camp. All right, you had a whole new training staff, a whole new coaching staff, all that crazy stuff, and issues with DeAndre Baker, issues with Aldrick Rosas, all these adversities, right? All these things of adversity, and the Giants were still able to put up 2 more wins, even with a harder schedule. So that's something to take with you guys. Last super chat here, Independent Outsider. He says, I wasn't okay with a 6-10 record, especially when Evan Ingram lost at least 2 of those games. We did well despite having a rookie coaching staff. Yeah, we did do well. And yes, Evan Ingram was a big part of that. But at the same time, I mean,
that should kind of be why you should be okay with it. Like, we really lost because of one dude.
Yeah, you could look at it like we could have won 8 or 9 games, and that's how much the team improved as opposed to the previous season. We, like we just said, we should have won 3 games. Maybe we got lucky to win the Bucks game the year before, and we weren't in any other games for the most part. Yeah. So the team got much better, and all right. The way the season ended, there are 3 very strong positives going into next year. Daniel Jones got much better over the last 6 games. He threw 1 pick in his last 6 games.
His decision making improved a lot.
His decision making got much better. Okay, Joe Judge, obviously a huge positive out of the entirety of the season, and Andrew Thomas.
I love me some Andrew Thomas.
The last 8 games of the year gives you a lot of faith. Not to mention,
and then we learned about the fact that he got ankle surgery because he was playing on a bad ankle all year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So we didn't even get the best of Andrew Thomas.
We got Andrew Thomas on a bum ankle. And imagine what we could get with Andrew Thomas on 2 good ankles.
And on both sides of the ball, you're gonna get, if they keep this together, if Garrett doesn't get a job, you're gonna have guys coming back now knowing these schemes, ready to build off of it in the second year.
With a actual offseason.
More talent on the with Barkley coming back in a wide receiver too. But
yeah,
you look at Aaron Rodgers. I said in my video the other day when talking about Garrett. Not to say that Dan Jones is going to do what Rodgers did this year, but look at the jump Rodgers had from year 1 to year 2 in the new scheme. He went from a very good quarterback, still great, but now he's had the greatest year in the history of football. Learning a new scheme takes time. And it's why I didn't want to move on from Garrett personally. I want Jones to have a second year in that system, and I think he could have a huge jump, especially if you get him the weapons. So I think there's a lot of reasons to be positive as a New York Giant fan going into 2021.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. And with that, guys, we'll wrap it up here. Great stream. Appreciate everybody in the chat. This was a really good stream. Thank you, Tana, for jumping on the podcast tonight. And Hub, always a pleasure, man. So, guys, all that being said, fantastic stream. Had a good time. Hopefully we'll be on Diggy's channel on Friday, right? Friday yeah. Diggy's channel. Okay, so so see you guys then for the next stream. I should be coming out with a video soon. So yeah, guys.
And members, don't forget, members, mock draft is out. Regular viewers, it may come out like tomorrow if all the members see it already by that time. Otherwise, Friday is when it's gonna come out for regular viewers.
All right, man. Tina, anything to say?
No, thank you for having me on. I'll have a video out tomorrow. I'm doing top the 10 players I could see the New York Giants drafting at pick 11. So I'll have a video.
10 at 11. That's a lot.
Yeah, the 10. I don't know what I'm going to title it, but the 10 players I could see the 10 players I could see the New York Giants taking in the first round. I'll have a video up on that tomorrow. So there you go.
Gotcha. All right.
Thank you for having me on, guys.
All right, no problem, man. So that being said, guys, thank you guys for joining in the stream. Appreciate that, Sonny. Leave a like on the way out, and we'll see you guys